What's going on YouTube? It's your boy Sam from Team X1 here, and today guys I'm coming at you with the brand new Dragon Waifu deck profile for you guys today. So hopefully you guys enjoyed this video. I'm just kidding guys, this deck is called Dragonmaid. I'm very excited to be showcasing you guys this deck. I've been waiting for this set to come out for quite a long time, and as you guys saw in yesterday's video, I bought 11 booster boxes. If you guys are watching this video in the morning, shout out to you guys. I'm probably on the plane to YCS Pasadena right now, but anyways, hopefully you guys enjoyed this video. Nonetheless, I got all the cards to the deck profile, and I have a really cool list. And most importantly, for those of you who are newer to the deck, I want to showcase you guys some cool combos you guys can actually do with this deck. Nonetheless guys, this archetype is really cool. It reminds me so much of like Cosmos Gladiator Beast, where you're able to tag out into dragons, like returning dragons from the field to the hand to bring out bigger dragons. The deck is just very awesome, and when the deck can pick up steam, the deck is actually really powerful. So I won't waste any more of your time. Without further ado, let's just start with the deck profile.
Be sure to get your playmat today at tsx1.com.
To start with the monsters, you're going to play, of course, Triple Kitchen Dragonmaid. What she does is that when this card is normal summon or special summon, you basically get to add a Dragonmaid monster directly from your deck to your hand and discard a Dragonmaid monster from your hand to the graveyard. And the really wonderful thing about Dragonmaids is that they're able to use their effects in the graveyard and also on the field. And one of the things that's really important about all these smaller Dragonmaid monsters is that they all have the amazing ability to tag out at the start of the battle phase. So basically what this card does is that at the start of the battle phase, return this card to your hand, special 1 level 8 Dragonmaid monster from your hand or graveyard. Okay, so this card is able to revive back a Dragonmaid monster from the graveyard, or this card is able to special a level 8 monster from your hand. During the battle phase, you can easily tag her out to bring out your bigger Dragonmaid monster, so that way you can just pressure your opponent with multiple big dragons on the field to just OTK your opponent. Smaller Dragonmaid monsters like Kitchen all have the ability to tag themselves out during the beginning of the battle phase to special summon a bigger Dragonmaid monster. So triple copies of Kitchen. Next we're going to play, of course, triple copies of Parlor. This card is really amazing as well. On summon, she's basically a Foolish Bearer for the deck. Not only can she dump monsters to the graveyard, but she can dump any Dragonmaid card directly from your deck to the grave. And cards like Changeover, which is the fusion spell for the deck, it is really important to get access to that card as quickly as possible. And the secondary effect, like I mentioned earlier, during the start of the battle phase, you can tag her out to special summon a Dragonmaid monster that's a level 8 from either your hand or your graveyard. So triple copies of Parlor, double copies of Dragonmaid Nurse, and also the 1 copy of Laundry Dragonmaid. So what these cards do, once she's normal summon or special summon, you basically get to revive back a Dragonmaid monster from your graveyard. So she's essentially another monster reborn on legs for the deck. So she's able to revive back cards like Parlor, and also revive back cards like Kitchen from the graveyard. At the start of the battle phase, you can tag her out to special summon a level 7 Dragonmaid monster from your hand or graveyard. So she's only restricted to special summon level 7 from your hand or graveyard. Same thing with Laundry. This card is restricted to only special summon level 7, but when this card is normal summon or special summon, basically get to send the top 3 cards of your deck to the graveyard. So potentially seeing more of your Dragonmaid cards in the graveyard is just really amazing. So Laundry can sometimes, sack you, by sending cards like Changeover, luckily, or some of your bigger Dragonmaid monsters from the top of your deck to the graveyard, which is really good. So that's pretty much it for the smaller Dragonmaid monsters that you're playing in the deck. For your bigger Dragonmaid monsters, you're gonna play, of course, triple Dragonmaid Ernest. She's absolutely amazing. Okay, so basically what she does is that this card cannot be destroyed by card effects while you control a fusion monster. So this card's a quick effect, which is really awesome. You can ditch this card from your hand to the graveyard to special a level 4 or lower Dragonmaid monster from your hand. So this card automatically special summon cards like your Nurse, your Laundry, Kitchen, or Parlor directly from your hand, which is really awesome. At the end of the battle phase, if this card's on the field, you can basically return this card to your hand to special summon 1 level 2 Dragonmaid monster from your hand. So she's able to get out cards like Laundry and also Nurse directly from your hand to your side of the field. And obviously, you have interactions with House Dragonmaid. Whenever they tag out, House Dragonmaid gets to pop monsters on the field. Next, we're gonna play, of course, double copies of Dragonmaid Tenkek and double Dragonmaid Lorpar. These 2 cards are really great. Only 2 copies of each. The reason why you play 2 copies of each is that these cards are always accessible off cards like Hospitality, and most importantly, it is accessible through Parlor, because Parlor can always send these cards to the graveyard, which is really important. Tenkek, what this card does is that it's like an honest for the deck, is that you can discard this card from your hand and target 1 Dragonmaid monster you control. It gains 2,000 attack. Both these cards at the end of the battle phase, you basically can return these cards, turn them to your hand, special summon 1 level 3 Dragonmaid monster from your hand. This card acts like an effect dealer, but only during your turn. That's the only downside about this card's ability, is that it is not a quick effect, unlike Ernest and also Tenkek. Double Lorpar and also double Tinkek is all you need for the big Dragonmaid monsters that you're playing in the deck. For the last big dragon you're playing in the deck is the one Tempest Dragon Ruler of the Storms. Not only can you banish 2 dragon monsters from your graveyard to special summon this card from your hand or graveyard, but the most important part about Tempest Dragon Ruler of Storms is that you can discard itself and a wind monster to the graveyard to basically search any dragon monster directly from your deck to your hand. So if you have Lorpar, which you're playing double copies of, and you also have Parlor, which is, you know, also a win, you can easily send these 2 cards to the graveyard, basically search any Dragonmaid monster directly from your deck to your hand, which is really good. So if you open up with like Tempest and also like Parlor, easily send Parlor and Tempest to the graveyard. Like you can search Nurse, normal summons Nurse, bring back Parlor, Parlor dumps Changeover, and then you can easily just have like 2 cards right there. First turn House Dragonmaid, aka Dragonmaid Husky, right? So that's some cool combos you guys can actually do with Tempest. To combat against the meta is obviously triple Ash Blossom and also triple Super Polymerization. If your opponent doesn't play around this card, you basically just win the duel. And also Ash Blossom, literally one of the best hand traps in today's metagame. That's pretty much a 3 Ash, 3 Super Poly, absolutely mandatory. Before we get started with the spells, if you guys want to help support the channel, make sure you guys get the brand new Dragonmaid playmat today in the link description box below at tx1.com, and be sure to use my coupon code TXX10 for 10% off your entire order. This is the brand new Dragonmaid playmat. Off to the spells, we're going to play, of course, triple Dragonmaid Hospitality. This card is the Monster Reborn in the deck. Special summon Dragonmaid monster from your hand or graveyard. At the same time, you can send one Dragonmaid monster with the same attribute but different levels from your deck to the graveyard. So not only does special summon a monster from the graveyard or hand, but it also is a Foolish Burial for the deck. So whatever colors you bring out from your hand or graveyard, you're able to dump the other color directly from your deck to the graveyard. So if you special summon, of course, the Kitchen, you're basically able to dump Tinkek directly from your deck to the graveyard. And most of your combos will be relying on this card right here. So triple copies of Hospitality. Next, you're playing only 1 copy of Dragonmaid Changeover. The reason why you only need 1 is that you can always recycle this card from your graveyard to your hand by just bouncing a Dragonmaid monster from your field to your hand. As long as you just bounce back a Dragonmaid monster, you're always going to see this card in your hand. Playing multiple copies of this card in your deck is a brick in my personal opinion. Next one, Dragonmaid Welcome. This card is really awesome as well. Parlor can also send this card to the graveyard. If you guys don't know what this card does, is that all monsters you control gains 100 attack and defense for each Dragonmaid monster you control. If you control 2 or more Dragonmaid monster, you can target 1 Dragonmaid card in your graveyard, except for Dragonmaid Welcome, and add it to your hand. If this card is sent to the graveyard, your opponent cannot target Dragonmaid monster you control with card effects this turn. So if you're going for OTK, you can easily just summon Parlor, dump this to the graveyard, and then you just combo off freely without having your opponent to target any of your cards or card effects. So that way that you can just go off of your OTKs, right? So Dragonmaid Welcome is pretty nice. Next off, from Warrior Extender cards, playing triple Royal Legacy Guard Dragon. This card is like another Monster Reborn for the deck. It's like you're basically playing 6 copies of Hospitality. It's able to revive back your mini Dragonmaid monsters from the graveyard, so that way that you can trigger off their effects. And also at the same time, you can easily move your Husky, aka House Dragonmaid, from an extra Monster Zone to the main Monster Zone, so that way that you can potentially put up multiple Huskies on the field, right? Next off, for your draw cards, you're going to play, of course, Triple Pot Extravagance. You are not reliant on your extra deck whatsoever. The only cards that you're going to be mainly going to is Heretic Seal and also your Husky, aka House Dragonmaid. So Pot Extravagance will get you into your resources really, really quickly. It's literally a pot of greed for the deck, and I know that this card is really expensive, and not everybody has access to this card. The best budget alternative for this card right here is Super Rejuvenation. If you guys want to play Super Rejuvenation, you guys can definitely play that card at 3, no problem, in exchange of Pot Extravagance. That's probably the best solution to replacing Pot Extravagance if this card is a little bit out of your budget, right? So Pot Extravagance, if you guys have access to it, make sure you guys play it. But nonetheless, guys, you guys can just substitute Pot Extravagance or Super Rejuvenation instead. Triple Call by the Grave. Not only is this card a reactive card, but it's also a defensive card. Is that if your opponent doesn't ash any of your plays, you can just set this card and just disrupt your opponent's graveyard plays. Really good reactive and defensive card for the deck. Last but not least, we're going to play, of course, the 1 Foolish Burial. Just another card to send your Dragonmaid cards to the graveyard, and also at the same time, it dumps your Tempest to the grave, which is pretty nice. Double copies of Dragonmaid Downtime. This card is absolutely amazing. This card is your reinforce of the army for the deck. What this card does is that you can target 1 Dragonmaid monster you control, then activate 1 of these effects, return to the hand, and if you do, to either return a spell and trap cards from your opponent's field to the hand, or to search a Dragonmaid card directly from your deck to your hand. So this card is just really awesome. It plays really well with Husky. You're able to just return a Dragonmaid card. Husky will get a pop a card, and then at the same time, you also get to search a card as well. Alright guys, off to the extra deck. I'm going to play, of course, triple copies of House Dragonmaid. The reason why you play 3 copies of House Dragonmaid is that you're playing Pot Extravagance in the deck. If you play 2 copies, you don't want to have the chance of just banishing, you know, all 2 copies with Pot Extravagance, right? So you want to maximize yourself when actually playing triple copies of House Dragonmaid. During the standby phase, you can target 1 other Dragonmaid monster you control, especially 1 Dragonmaid monster that's 1 level higher or 1 lower, directly from your hand or graveyard. So House Dragonmaid is really good to just combo off during your opponent's turn and also your turn as well, because you're able to just put a lot of pressure by just summoning a bunch of Dragonmaid monsters. Also at the same time, whenever a Dragon monster is returned to the hand, you basically get a pop-up monster on the field. The only downside about this card is that it has no like built-in protection. I kind of wish this card had the ability to be like, okay, this card can't be targeted by your opponent's card effect, this card can't be destroyed by battle, some sort of effect like that. But how's Dragonmaid with cards like Downtime? It's just absolutely ridiculous. Next, I'm gonna play, of course, double copies of Erratic Seal of Heavenly Spears. Sometimes, you know, against decks like Silent Greats, if they have no extenders, you can just easily just go Erratic Seals, bounce back their monster. If they have no other extenders, you basically just win the game the following turn. This card is like the most important card to play in your deck, hands down. This card is so good. Other links: Moral Sword, IP, Phoenix, Unicorn, the BLS Link. You guys can play whatever Link monster you guys have access to, but these are the ones that I'm playing. Double copies, Starring Venom Fusion Dragon, one Silent Great Ballet Chimera, the one Predator Plant Fusion, and last but not least, the Mud Dragon of the Swamp, drawn off for super polymerization target. So that's pretty much it for the main deck, guys. Let's showcase you guys some of the combos you guys can actually do with this deck real quick. This whole entire combo is going to be revolving around Erratic Seal of Heavenly Spears, and on the following turn, you can easily just OTK your opponent. You want to normal summon Kitchen, activate Kitchen's effect. You're going to search Parlor directly from your deck to your hand. Once you search Parlor, you have to send Parlor to the graveyard. So now what you're going to do is that you want to activate Dragonmaid's Hospitality. You're going to revive back Parlor from the graveyard, trigger off Hospitality's ability, which is going to be Dragonmaid Lore Power to the grave off Hospitality, which is really good. So Hospitality resolves, dumps Lore Power, and then once Parlor is summoned, you basically get to activate Parlor's ability to basically dump the Earnest directly from your deck to the graveyard. If you want, you can just end on this, because at the start of your opponent's battle phase, you can easily just bounce these two cards back to your hand to summon these two cards to the field, right? Which is really awesome. And also at the same time, at the end of the battle phase, if these cards survive, you can basically bounce these two cards back to summon these cards back on the field again, so that way that you can trigger off their ability, right? What you can easily do is that you can just link these two away for the Erratic Seal of Heavenly Spears. So now what your opponent's trying to do is that they're trying to enter battle phase. So what you can do is that you can activate Seal, Tribute itself, to basically bounce back a monster from their field to the hand, and then you basically get a Specimen Nurse directly from the deck. Once Nurse is summoned, you can activate Nurse's ability to basically special summon back the Kitchen that was in your graveyard. And once Kitchen is special summoned, you can activate Kitchen's ability to basically search the Tinkek and then ditch the Tinkek. So right here, your graveyard should be full. You should have majority of your big dragons and your mini dragons in the graveyard. And then at the beginning of the battle phase, you can just bounce these two cards back to the hand. Basically special summon the Earnest and also the Tinkek from your graveyard, right? Obviously, you have to do these one by one, but you know, you guys get the point. And then during the end of the battle phase, you can activate Tinkek's ability to bounce itself to the hand, to special summon Kitchen from your hand. So now is your turn. You can easily summon Nurse, activate Nurse's ability, special summon back Parlor from your graveyard. Once Parlor is summoned, you basically get to send Dragonmaid Changeover to the graveyard. And then what you can do is that you can activate the Changeover to bounce back the Earnest to your hand, to basically add itself to your hand. And then what you can do next is that you can activate Dragonmaid's Changeover to basically fuse the Earnest and also Parlor to make House Dragonmaid. And then what you can do is that you can activate Tinkek's ability to boost House Dragonmaid's attack by 2,000. Now at the beginning of the battle phase, you can activate these two cards' effect, bounce yourself to the hand, special summon the Lore Power, and also the Earnest from your graveyard. And then at the same time, you bounce two cards back to your hand, right? So that means that House Dragonmaid will basically get to pop two cards. Right now, you have 5,000, 26, 27. That's definitely over 8,000. And also at the same time, you're also clearing two monsters on the field as well, which is pretty cool. So that's some basic combos you guys can actually do with just two cards. So that's pretty much it for the deck profile, guys. Hopefully you guys enjoyed this video. If you guys enjoyed this video, make sure you guys smash the thumbs up button. That'll be absolutely amazing. And yeah, guys, get your playmats today. Hit the link in the description box below at tx1.com. This is your boy Sam from Team Sam signing out. Alright, guys. Peace.
Run it up, yeah, run up the score.